Edgar Allan Poe was born in Boston in 1809. He was the son of traveling actors who never met. He was welcomed by the family of a merchant who went to England in 1815. In 1827, he published Tamerlane and other poems. He spent his life in bars, gambling halls, and courts of justice. In 1836, he married his cousin Olivia and wrote the highest stories of terror and suspense of the century. He died because of delirium tremens on October 7, 1849, in Baltimore. The fall of the House of Usher. He arrived one afternoon at the Usher house and without reason he felt a feeling of sadness. It was an old house with stone walls and narrow windows. He planned to spend a few days in the house because his owner, Roderick Usher, who was a good friend when they were children, sent him a letter telling he is sick. And he was the only person who could help him in his illness and sadness. He went to the front of the house and a servant led him inside. The house had nothing wrong, just a crack, but it was scary. It had a wall with dark photographs that made him feel nervous. He arrived at the studio. There were many books and some guitars, but there was no life or happiness in the room. Usher received him kindly. He realized that he had changed a lot since the last time they saw each other. He had a thin, pale face, large eyes, thin lips, and soft hair, but now all increased. Usher looked like someone different. Spending time with Usher, he realized that he was a man who would change his mood quickly. His illness made him perceive everything stronger. Usher blamed the house for that. He was also very sad for his sister Madeline, who had a rare disease that made her thinner and weaker each day. He and Usher spent time painting, even playing the guitar. One day, Usher told him that Lady Madeline had died and wanted to have her in the house for a few days to study her strange illness. Together, they took the body to the vaults under the house, and Usher's disease got worse. Then, he began to be afraid of his friend and couldn't sleep. One night, he heard some noises and they didn't come from the storm. He was dying of fear. Usher knocked on his door and he felt better. He entered and opened the window and they fell to the floor. The night became gloomy, so that Usher wouldn't be afraid. He offered to read a book. When he began to read, all the sounds described in the book seemed there. He was very scared, and Usher said, "We put her alive in the coffin. I listened to Madeline." After that, he said that she was behind the door. The door opened and was there, agonizing and trembling. Fell heavily on Usher, leaving him dead, victim of fear. He ran away, and while the house collapsed. The Black Cat. He wanted to share this incredible story as he was about to die. The story started telling that he was a docile individual. He was in love with animals. When he got married, he was finally able to choose his most wanted animals because his wife also loved animals. He had bears, fish, dogs, chickens, and a cat. The cat's name was Pluto, and he was a gorgeous cat. He was completely black. The cat was his favorite pet. They were best friends. The man became an alcoholic through the time. His mood was always affected by this, and he started abusing his pets and his wife. There was a night that he arrived home drunk. His cat heard him and tried to run away, but he tried to grab him, and as the cat was scared, beat the man. He took his pocket knife and stabbed him in the eye. And, because of a feeling of evil, one day he tied the cat's neck to a rope and hung it to a tree. After this, his house burned down. The next day, he visited the house and the only erect wall had the silhouette of a hung cat. Over time, he began to feel sad for Pluto. One night, he saw a cat similar to Pluto, only with the difference of a white spot. He took the cat home. After a while, he started to hate the new cat despite all the love the cat gave to him. He was also very afraid of the cat because the white spot was likened to a gallows. His wife was calm, resigned. She didn't complain about anything. Down the stairs, the cat almost made him fall. He was going to kill the cat with an axe, but she stopped him with her arm, so he buried the axe in her brain and decided to put the body behind a wall in the basement. After that, he went to look for the beast that caused everything to kill him, but he didn't find it. Days later, the police arrived to search the place. They didn't didn't notice anything, but at the moment they left, a terrible scream was heard from the wall. When they knocked down the wall, there was a body and a cat.